right. Sound is better.
I know, last week, my famous last words, we got sound just right.
No. Wrong.
Readers' comments.
But our conversations with Scotty hopefully paid off.
Scotty.
Love you.
He talked to me a lot about this. I'm not really
Scotty
sure
Hicks.
what happened.
All right, so
You're in charge of the mouse. You
podcast 251.
agree?
Keep touching your mouse.
Do we have the information about the secret stuff that we need to talk about tonight from the secret place that we're going to this
We're going to
week?
make it up. Ready, set, go.
We're just making stuff
Mikey,
up?
give me a
Okay.
countdown.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics. With over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Yelma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week video podcast. What's Neat in Model Railroading, show number 251 for October 14th, 2023. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And like I said last week, the November show, you and I just filmed a segment on it tonight. And it's going to turn out really great. In that video, we've got content from Broadway Limited, Bachman Industries, and a layout construction segment that is part 4 of building that beautiful little Blackstone layout. And I think this month's video, we cover building the turntable specifically and how to power it up so all those little locomotives are sitting there making their sound. So it's a very good video coming out for November. Tonight I've got with me, sitting right where Mike always sits, Mike Buddy. Hey, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
It's good to have you tonight, and I think we have sound correct. I don't want to jinx it.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, you'll know on Tuesday.
Well, we'll find out in the comment section.
I know, right? Sitting right here, it's me, Ken Patterson. Sitting next to me, I've got Joshua Barton.
What's up, everybody?
And sitting right next to Joshua, we've got James Regier.
Hey, everyone.
And these are the 4 amazing people that you will get to meet next week, Saturday night from 3:30 until midnight at Lombard Hobbies in Lombard, Illinois, up there in Chicago. It's going to be a wonderful event where we're doing a meet and greet so that we can meet all of our wonderful fans out there that enjoy the show. Plus, during the days previous to that, we are going to be touring parts of Chicago and also maybe visiting a few club layouts and possibly a couple private layouts. I'm waiting to find out how that schedule turns out as the folks up at Lombard's are arranging all of that for us. Also, what we couldn't talk about last week, we can now say tonight. Oh my goodness. They are going to have a sale. Up to 80% off on a lot of the model railroad supplies that you might need.
In-store only.
That is correct.
Nothing online. In-store only. You have to be there.
Be there or be square.
That's right.
It's going to be a lot of festivities. He's got a great big tent. I hope it's heated. I just imagine it's probably cold in Chicago right now. But it's going to be wonderful. James will be there. Mike will be there. Joshua will be there. I will be there. And I will have Holly sitting by my side.
Yay.
Thank you very
And
much.
I believe Campbell can
Campbell's
come
coming
too.
Yeah.
Campbell
We're-
Rice is going to be in
Yes.
town.
We're trying to get Daniel out of the train yard, but I think he has to work overtime.
This is going to be fun. I've never been there before. I understand it's a very, very beautiful store.
It is.
With evidently a lot of product.
Mm-hmm.
I know the owners, the proprietors have got one of the best reputations in our industry. And we love to thank very much Lombard Hobbies for sponsoring the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, because that's what they have been doing now for the last 2 years. Thank you very much for that. And thank you, Rand Hood, for making that happen for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
and we're going to be taping stuff for the hour show.
We're going to do an interview with the
That's right.
owners
Yep.
for the What's Neat show.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll hopefully get some good interviews with layout owners on our clubs
Yeah.
for the What's Neat videos,
That's right.
because we need content for December, January, February, and March. And I would definitely reach out to anybody out there that has video editing skills and loves this hobby that would love to contribute material.
we could use
for
some extra hands.
The What's Neat show. We got Jennifer Kirk on board doing that. I've got George Bogatuk doing that. We've had a lot of other visitors come here where I filmed their material. This is a project for all of us. We're all model railroaders. We all work together to produce this show.
Yeah, and we'd love to see your content, and we'd love to put some on the show here. So.
And
If you got
tonight,
a project that's neat, bring it to us.
Yeah, that's right.
we actually rehearsed this show tonight. We are 50 minutes late in starting this one.
Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I know,
Oh,
right?
that's early by Amtrak standards.
Yeah. Ba-dum-bum.
Okie dokie. So where do we go after that? We've got this beautiful SD45 on the table. That is this wonderful locomotive right here
Paragon 4.
from Broadway Limited
Yeah.
Imports. I shot this model outside before the cold weather hit and the clouds came, and this engine is exquisite. It's a high hood SD45. I shot it from the side, on top, and from the rear, just to expose how beautiful this model is. This model comes with Paragon 4 sound, and the sound was actually recorded off of a Northern Pacific SD45 number 3617, which is right now at a museum, the Lake Superior Railroad Museum in Duluth, Minnesota. So Broadway Limited now has been making this model. They've had a first run, and this is the run that is coming out now next year in 2024, where they've got multiple road names that are coming out: Santa Fe, Conrail, Erie, Lackawanna, Great Northern, Milwaukee Road, Norfolk Southern, Norfolk and Western. And the bicentennial unit, number 1776, that should be beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
In Pennsylvania Railroad, SP and UP.
Very cool.
So hats off to Broadway Limited again for creating another model that's got the sound that matches the model exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just can't believe that the SD45 is already a museum piece. It's
Yep. Ken's,
what?
Ken's
He's
almost
right.
a museum piece, too.
yeah.
My Ford Excursion could have historic plates. It's 20 years old this year. And I will never give that truck up. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, guys. So what else you got, Josh?
I would like to talk about Denny Yelma.
You know what? But first, I want to talk about something about you. We've all been watching Joshua go through changes in his life, and he started to build this elaborate, beautiful model railroad layout. Tell us about the progress on that, and what are your plans for this layout?
So, jeez. I
Dropped it in
So
your lap,
okay. I am the proud owner of the Fountain City Railroad.
Yes.
It's a depiction of DeSoto, Missouri, and the Union Pacific, and Missouri Pacific before that, and the Iron County Railroad before that, Iron Mountain Railroad before
St.
that.
Louis, Iron Mountain, and
Yeah,
Southern.
correct. And so it's been in my best friend Tim's basement for the last 5 years that I've been building it, because I had a whole lot of things in my house, and now I'm liquidating some of those things, and I'm going to bring it out of Tim's basement and into my garage. So
Now, in the Lionel String interview that you had done, Lionel's like, "You're the first person I ever met that built the layout in somebody else's house."
that is correct.
And how did that conversation?
Well, I mean, my best friend has this giant basement, and really all it has is a pool table. And he always wanted to have a bar built in the basement so he can belly up to the bar. And I always wanted to build a railroad that would have more things to immerse people that aren't railroad fanatics into it. So I thought if I got you to sit at the bar, then maybe you'll notice the railroad a little more. And so that's where the concept came. And so I poured an epoxy bar that has all kinds of different things in it. And I have a video right here of some of the things in it. I have a Bachmann
It's clear
engine
resin,
in there.
clear
It's clear
resin, so
resin.
you
Very
can see
heavy.
through it,
Correct.
yeah.
It's about 900 pounds.
I know I've got photographs
wow.
of that in my computer.
So so that's part of the layout, and I extended it so it has a roundhouse that was at the actual DeSoto location in the early or the late 1800s, early 1900s, and that was demolished. But what I'm doing is I'm making DeSoto a present day with the turntable still there as an active modern turntable.
Okay.
So it it immerses a lot of different things in there with keeping true to the heritage of DeSoto. And let me tell you, I made everything except for the bar and the railroad to be able to move, everything's on
Wheels.
wheels, just like you taught me how to do.
Yes. It
So,
works.
except for the bar. So now that I'm moving, I'm keeping the bar there for him. And like I said, it has track that will go all the way around the bar and immerse yourself in this small railroad. But everything else is going to come to my house, and I'm going to just do the railroad by itself with no bar in the garage.
Nice.
A lot like George Bogatalk has
Yes.
in his
Okay.
garage.
That's well
so
thought out.
it'll be functional. I haven't decided if it's going to be multiple levels because I want to be able to use the same space for music, playing music, and things like that. So it's going to be a multi-use space, but with all of my train stuff.
That's awesome.
If I can fit it in.
All right, James Regier, you're on the spot next. We saw you put that second story on your beautiful house there in
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
A very wonderful school district and a very nice neighborhood. And have you started planning, designing, building? What's going on with you in building a new layout? Because that's another thing I'd like to cover.
Well, so far the major progression of the layout has been me envisioning sort of, I guess Gretna would be the obvious starting point since I have that elevator and have some pictures of some other elevators I want to build. And it would be a nice one module project because the whole length would really fit into one module, maybe a module and a half. Then figure out how to incorporate that into something else that would fit, Santa Fe.
Right.
So far, the actual progress on the layout has amounted to me going into the basement and saying, "Oh Jesus, how am I ever going to fix this and clean it up?" So that's been the big challenge so far.
I have a question. So, are you planning on doing a layout of just different modules that you'll be able to stick together in like a Fremo type thing?
I think that's what it's going to be at first. As a theme really starts to solidify, I may go for a more solidified location. But for now, I do like the idea of sort of being able to model different locations and string them together, sort of in a very freelanced way.
That's exactly what Fremo has
Yeah.
appealing for me. I'd love to make at least a couple that will fit into my layout that I can pull out. I'd love to do an autumn scene or a winter scene, something that's not common, that you won't see on everybody's layout.
Yeah.
But I don't want to detail the whole layout like that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about the design of this layout. Every single module on this layout, the river, Kimmswick, go through, Highway M Bridge, the bridge behind us back there, all of these sections were designed to go outside to be photographed to create ad photography. I didn't design them with the Fremo standards for the ends, but if I did, some of these modules would lend themselves beautifully to a show.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that, we want to redo some of this stuff here. If we redo it with a thought process that we can interact with the Fremo
I think that's a
people,
great idea.
I think so too. And a module, I mean, you've shown us that you can do all kinds of things in modules and still be able to have that one track that comes out on both sides,
Right.
or that two track that comes out on both
And
sides.
the nice thing is, with modular, if you decide a module really no longer fits, well, you can set it off to the side, put in something of similar size, that has the same standards on the ends, and you're ready to go. You haven't really lost anything.
And, when I was on Lionel's show, he asked me, why do we use the two? Well, he asked me why I use the two pieces
Layers of
of foam. And I told him that I learned that from you because of moving that stuff so much.
Yeah.
It's so much more durable. And then on top of it, you can carve a lot out to get
Right.
these really nice mountains or whatever you need. And I've seen where you've stacked 9 or 10 different ones on each other
Yes.
and then
Yeah,
carve
just
it
certain
out.
areas, yeah.
So I mean that just the durability that comes with that as
No, I-
well,
yeah,
and
no, I think
all
with-
that scenery.
I think with foam, the one thing that I've observed, and I think we've both observed this, is that you want to get a good coat of paint on that foam, because otherwise it starts to lose air and starts to contract a little
on
bit over
both
time.
sides.
What Ken has found too with that great stuff, the industrial foam
That
that
you can
comes
throw.
out of the applicator, foam changes over the years. When you do something 5 years later, it's moved or it's floated on itself. So you can take that foam and reapply to any places, let
Yeah.
it dry, and then take some sandpaper stuff or cut it down, repaint it, and it's there again. So I mean that really helps with all that lifetime.
We've
of use.
discussed foam shrinkage before on this show, and I've documented it on the bluff section, on the river section. As the modules were tight, now they've got a 1/2 of an inch gap. And we've taken the great Foam Pro stuff and filled in the ends of the modules by putting a piece of paper in there,
Yeah.
filling it up, and it
Right.
works.
It works for a while.
does.
But what I've discovered through the years and what has always confused me about this word, foam shrinkage, I don't know that it's accurate. I don't think the overall piece of foam actually shrinks because my track work has never been affected. If it shrank, I would expect that micro-engineering
That
track
would
to start being
start bowing.
right.
Yeah, you'd
No.
have buckles.
What it is, and it doesn't matter, I've come to find out, if you even paint it to seal it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help. But as I do photo shoots outside with some of these older dioramas, I get this foam, this powder foam on my fingers. And then when I go to pick up this black N&W engine to do a photo shoot,
Yeah.
I've got to dust off the fingerprints of that dry foam from the edges of the modules. I think what it is the edges of the modules degrade. The outside part that maybe is exposed to foam,
Yeah, that sounds logical.
Sure.
but I can't prove it because then you would think it's also shrinking
Well,
laterally,
maybe
right?
not.
Instead of
those aren't-
lengthwise.
Those edges are more sealed, the top and bottom. The edges are cut.
That's true.
Yeah.
on those
But it always
sheets,
takes about
so-
7 years for you to actually start to see it. So you've got a great length of time. If you're building a module for a couple of years, 4 years, you're fine.
If you guys know the head of a manufacturing company for foam, have them call us. We'll have them on the
Yeah.
show. We would love to hear
I
the dynamics.
I think that would be a can of worms. There's a lot of part where it would be against it. All right, Joshua, well, you want to talk about the Hawkeye Model Railroad Club. They've got something special coming up.
I sure do. First, I want to talk about their Iowa City Train Show. It's the 3rd annual, and it's going to be on Sunday, October 22nd. So if you're going there, you won't be able to come see us in Chicago. But this is going to be at 4261 Oakcrest Hills Road in Iowa City, Iowa. It's from 9 to 3. It's $5 for adults. Children 10 and under are free. And then I also want to talk about the Hawkeye Model Railroad Association. They have a new Forever Home.
The layout, the building that we were building, I think we showed last year on the show when
Yep.
they were getting the foundation poured.
It sure
But
was.
now it's come a long way.
Check this out. This is the outside, and I want to make note to this walkway into their main building. It is so neat. It looks like a train track.
Right.
It has bricks for the tracks, and then it looks like it has real railroad ties for the ties. and then everything else is in concrete.
There you go.
And I'll tell you that the space is huge. So I believe they're going to start working on their new forever layout this month. So it's just a beautiful spot.
This is a group that's spent over a year and a half, probably 2 years,
Yeah.
planning this
Right,
building,
yeah.
getting permits, having it built. I want to build my layout right now. To wait for 2 years just to get the infrastructure.
Think about that.
This is a long-term plan.
It is. How many clubs do we hear, oh, we have to move the whole layout because our lease is up or
Lease
they're
expires,
selling
yeah.
the building? And I mean,
Right.
how many clubs have just been destroyed
Right.
because of that? And
I've
here,
been talking to Jerry Brown. I think he's the guy that's
He is.
involved. Yeah, I've been talking to him for several years on Facebook Messenger and stuff.
it's really great
He's-
that now that they can build stuff and
Yes.
it'll stay there, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Now they got
Sure.
their own brand new place and
Yeah, and it
plenty
is
of
beautiful. Yep.
Are you saying that if I actually had my ducks in a row and made plans, the Midwest Valley Modelers layout would still be somewhere housed in a nice controlled
instead
setting
of
buildings?
a moldy trailer
Probably where
covered
it's
with
at.
slime and mold.
Yeah, where is that trailer?
I don't
now?
know. I'd like to have my the city back. The city was beautiful for photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure was. That
What a
that was a
beautiful
great layout. But you know what? We can build a better layout, and we can put it on the hourly show as we build it.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Project for you.
Rock and roll on that.
Yes.
I hope you didn't just throw away the Denny logos.
Oh no, they're right here.
Are they?
Yep.
I can throw those away.
You want to do that next? You want to go to Mike?
Let's go to Mike. I want to hear
Yeah.
about some
Hey, Mike.
stars.
Hey,
That's
hey.
that's this chess piece right here.
Yes.
Yeah, you ought to put them in the right order.
That's
All right, Mike.
So you're saying that you're the king? Wait, I'm not the queen. I'm the pawn.
I want to be the guy on the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be the knight?
All right, Mike.
I got more cars again from Bob Johnson at Master Built Models. These are the PCX 87 VW convertibles, and just like everything else from PCX 87, they're just amazing with all the separately applied details and stuff. And
I was noticing the textured seats in there. It's
Yeah.
like, man.
and the clear tail lights, the painted. These tail lights were new in 1973, and then the 1974 bumpers were a little bit higher on the back, so I think these are 1973 models, which
Wow.
should fit into a lot of people's layouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, my first car was a Bug in 1970, and I had a blast in that car. I drove it all over the country,
Nice.
pulled the motor out.
Oh,
you
is
know, I
that
knew how to work
the car
everything.
you went down Route 66
Yes,
with?
yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
So yeah, it's out in California now somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's probably crushed by now. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
So anyway, this oddity right here is if anybody out there is a fan of the Who, there's an album Quadrophenia from I think 1974, and this is a kid named Jimmy who's got a Vespa, and he's got all kinds of mirrors on it. There, it's, I never actually saw the movie. They made a movie of it.
Yeah.
So this is a model of the one in the book that comes with the album.
That's
And,
okay.
cool.
That's neat.
so, and then I had Bill Brillinger of Precision Design do the GS decals for the GS scooter. And,
Oh, nice.
and,
Yeah.
this scooter was called something to do with a wedding and had a bride on the back. So I ditched the bride and made an overcoat for Jimmy because that's what it looked like in the picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got a friend, Warren Hansen, from Chicago area, and he got a real kick out of that when he first saw it, and he contacted me because he's a big Who fan.
It's
So
pretty
That's very
awesome.
cool.
anyway, you'll have to get some close-ups of that because you really can't see it from far away at all.
Oh yeah.
Man, those Beetles, I tell you, when I was growing up, we'd go to the hobby shop and my sister would be along and my dad would get her one of those Bush Beetles.
Yeah.
Every time the detailing on these models is
yeah,
just
this
so
is-
many steps beyond what
I thought
what Bush
the
had back in
Viking
those
and the
days.
Bush,
yeah.
every time somebody does a Volkswagen or a Mustang or a Corvette or something, they get a little better at it.
Yeah.
This is a Super
are
Beetle.
outstanding.
You know, it's got the extended front with the curved windshield, which started in 1971.
Yeah.
And they've got all the details right, the vents on the deck
That's
lid
so
and
cool.
everything. And when I had my 70, I thought those back fenders and new lights were so cool. I went and bought them at the dealership and put them on my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You know, I've been wanting to take one of those Bush models and, you know, paint it up in a yellow and blue war bonnet. After what Stephen Priest did when he was in college. I think he did that as a protest to the SPSF Kodachrome merger scheme. So you may have to dig up that photo. I remember seeing that every day in the hobby shop in Wichita, Kansas, which he also had, you know, visited
Yeah.
frequently at the time. Probably provided him with that shot.
So anyway, next time we get together, it'll be the week after Chicago. I'll have a bunch of the new
Yes.
Ford Torinos.
And I'm going to announce it
Oh,
here
yes.
that will be our Halloween episode.
Oh, we
and,
are.
And
yes.
everyone who is on the show has to dress up as something. Or some.
Can I wear last week's costume? Oh, last year's
Can I be
costume?
the gifted kid?
Yes, you could be.
I could show up as a gifted kid. I
Yes.
could have been a lot of things. Just dress up as myself.
Stay tuned to see what we do.
I'm gonna dress up as Holly. I got the long blonde hair.
You can't tell people in the show beforehand.
Yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
That's like giving
That's how
away.
I dressed up last year for Halloween.
That's like giving away all the secrets of next weekend.
He wouldn't let me post the pictures of
Feel
Facebook
the
of us
sore
two
throat
standing
come
together.
on. I think I'm going to be sick.
So I'm not going to start. I'm not going to yell anymore for this show because I actually did put on the microphone right now, and I know sounds correct for it where it's at. But she was sitting down here right there, so that's okay.
Yeah,
So we got
yeah.
some new logos from Denny Yelma. God bless him, Denny. Denny's also going to be sending us some hats to pass out up at Lombard, Illinois. So that'll be a treat. I've got 6 logos on my piece of paper right here, and the first one I'm going to start out with is this Southern Pacific locomotive. And what this is, it was a hydraulic locomotive. It was a technology where they didn't put traction motors on it. They tried to do it straight through like hydraulics, like the way a bulldozer is powered.
Right.
Kraus Maffei. Yeah.
Kraus Maffei, that's correct. And in fact, that's German, isn't
And
it?
that was a standard technology in German diesel locomotives at the time.
So it worked over there.
It worked over there on a smaller scale, but something was lost in the translation.
Wasn't a lot of mining equipment hydraulic at one
Yeah,
time too?
It still is.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
Because it does work.
Right.
The second logo I got is a Seaboard Coastline, a railroad. And there's 2 beautiful units here. And you know what? I think we might have talked about this big boy image with the orange sky in the background of 4014
Yeah.
running. I know, right?
That's pretty
I've
neat.
also got a Cotton Belt Route locomotive of the Southwest.
Nice.
St. Louis Southwest.
St. Louis
There it is,
Southwestern.
the Southwestern
Yeah.
Railroad. There you go. Southern Pacific cab forward right here. Now, this is the kind of logo that would look fantastic on the back of a jacket.
I agree.
And this one especially. This is a combination of multiple logos, and he can do this for you, where you've got the Seaboard E8s or E6 locomotives, the Seaboard logo in the middle, and the orange blossom special specifying the passenger train that they pulled.
Yeah.
The route, I mean, that's just pretty.
Yeah, that is very nice.
That is very pretty. We're going to try something we've never done before tonight. And that is, we want to expose something that's on Denny's website that he has brought to our attention. And I'm doing that right now as I hit screen capture. Because
excellent.
I think we got this figured out. I'm going to give the mouse to Joshua as soon as I get it up to his homepage, which is right here on his brand new website. Thank you,
Perfect.
Randy Hook, for helping Denny
Yes.
through this entire process.
And everyone should go check out this website, but we're going to talk about it a little on here right now. And at the top here, you can see different video or different pictures of his setups when he is at different train shows and all the different displays of wares that you have. If you scroll down a little bit and to the side, the right side, if you're on a regular computer, you'll see our As Seen on YouTube feature featuring us.
Yes.
And you can click there, and that's a lot of information about Ken and the show. It has different links to our show. Definitely check that out.
Takes us to our website index.
And then
Yeah.
if
Oh, that's
you
good.
Yeah.
if you go right to the screen here, you'll see it's easy to shop. Well, these are the easy buttons that everyone talks about.
Well, that's great for us because we don't have to remember what the website is anymore. We
That's-
just send them to
Yes.
Denny's website.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Well, you can choose by logo.
yeah, so you can browse all their logos, or you can find the clothing you want. So let's say if we go to B,
Okay.
and we'll go to Baltimore and Ohio, and let's scroll down a little bit and say, let's go to this Cumberland division. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
click onto that, okay?
Yes.
So give it a minute to load up after I
going back up
click
to
on it.
clothing?
Yep. And then if you go down a little bit, say you don't necessarily want the Cumberland division, but you want a Capitol
Oh,
Dome. So
man.
this is all the Capitol Dome
Passenger trains.
patches, right, that you can get from Denny. So you can pick any of them, you know. And then if you go back up here to the top here, and then you go up to clothing, and you can pick whatever you want. So let's
So you
say
can have that same thing put on
beanie
any.
caps, jackets. So let's go to this jacket here.
There you go.
It's getting to be cold out there. So that's the jacket front and back. We're going to go down. Now here's all the logos that we've been looking at tonight.
Yes.
Now you can take that logo. Say I want what's neat this week on the breast pocket. I just pull it down here.
Or just click right there.
Oh, just click right
There you
here.
go.
And it goes on the back. I click here. It goes on the front.
On the pocket, right?
On here. If I want to change stuff up, I just click on it and click where it is. Say I want what's neat on this side. That way, it's super easy. You see price there. You see what is going to go where on the jacket. That way you know. There's no guessing.
Plus, you can also change the size of the logo so it takes up the entire back of the jacket.
Right.
So the
And
website's
everything's
intuitive.
customizable.
Correct. So you pick your size on here. Everything from extra small to 6X. And I wish more companies would do that. I'm a big guy. I like to breathe, and no one sells anything above extra large anymore. It's horrible.
I'm a little guy, man, and I have to wear an extra large shirt. or
Right.
it
You
feels
can
like
pick
it's too
different
tight.
you can pick different colors
I
of
love
the
that.
jackets.
I
That's
love
really
that.
great too. Look at that.
I know. I love that.
So I suggest that you go to Yelma Graphics, go take a look at what he has to offer. There's over 1,450 different logos that he has. Plus, there's a whole section that you can go down. You can see how he stitches. He'll show you a little video of the stitching in action. There's different products close up. Let him tell you what you need. Call him up if you have any questions. If you need anything,
There's
give him
a
a
phone
call.
number right there,
His phone
fellas.
number is right here on the side. This new website is amazing.
And if in those 1,500 plus logos, you don't find the one that you're after, send it to him and he
Yeah.
can build it up for you.
Well, he has a whole section on here of
Custom logos.
of
Yes,
custom
custom
logos.
logos.
And I mean, I know that Campbell has a logo. My logo's on there. Our logo's on there.
Right.
And tons
Jeff
of other-
Schultz's logo is on there.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he will work with you to make your logo.
I think there's a Modeler's Life logo
Mm-hmm.
that made it on there just
That's
recently.
cool. He's also got YouTube videos.
Yep.
All right, so guys, wow, that is amazing. We practiced that twice today.
Well, I want to say one more thing too.
Go ahead, shoot.
If you go on his website and you scroll down, it will also show all the meets he's going to.
All the shows that are coming up.
So if you need to order something, you can call him up ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to be at the Amherst show. Will you bring me my stuff there so we don't have to pay shipping? Or I can, check it out. Give him a call. He's great to work with, and he has some amazing products.
Rock and roll coming up on 30 minutes and 54 seconds. James Regier, what did you bring and what do you got to talk about tonight?
Well, so I've been playing around with modifying 3D designs. Of course, I got the three different barrel smokers here, and they're still working hard. Smoking the ribs and brisket and
Very nice.
yeah.
I can't smell anything.
I know, right? Yeah.
I know Lionel Strang's like, where are the
Yeah,
pictures?
where are the
Well, I
pictures?
can't see the pictures.
And there's hot dogs here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
So, and then I've also been sort of experimenting with windmill design. Like the initial windmill had a 10-foot fan. I read that the 8-foot fan was more common, so
Okay.
I rescaled it, resized it.
Nice.
I also tried to go from having a flat blade to a curved blade,
Oh, wow.
that sort of thing. So I've
Very
been,
cool.
and then what was really cool, I was sitting there in my office, working on the designs and stuff like that. I had the windows open because, for a few days this week, the weather was absolutely gorgeous, but there was this breeze, and it was blowing right in the window, and the windmills were actually blowing, and I was like, "Wow, that's that's
So
really
they were
awesome."
turning
So
in the
then I
breeze.
thought,
Very
well,
cool.
shoot, I got to take advantage of this. I took them out on the
Sure.
porch, and I'll give you some video of that just to complicate your day. And
Very cool.
but yeah, there's also, I've done test prints with various sizes of water tanks. There's the 12-foot bottomless tank that's not here present. This is the 15-foot model. Just these windmills were built for a purpose, and that purpose was to pump water to water livestock in remote pastures where you wouldn't be able to get electricity, or you wouldn't be able to maintain them very often.
That was quite ingenious.
And
Yeah, it sure was.
so the idea was that when the wind would blow, the water would pump, and if the wind was still, you had a big enough capacity
Reserve,
tank
yeah.
that the cattle could drink, even if it was still for several days.
Very cool.
That's what I've been working on, and part of that development is also this little hand pump here that
Very cool.
used to have one of those at my grandfather's farm that you could go out and we'd play with it. It wasn't really drinking water anymore at that time.
We
or
used to have
stuff
one
like
of those
such,
in our
yeah.
backyard when we were kids as
Yeah.
a swimming
Yeah.
pool.
So tell us about this souped-up Cadillac here.
Well, this is a model of the Ectomobile that I made, and before you ask, no, it's not going to be available because that stuff is all copyrighted
Oh, yeah. That'd be a
as
can of
anything, and
worms.
so I'm
Of course it's available.
it is October. It is that season, so
Very
I thought
cool,
it's time
very
for
cool.
the Ectomobile to pay a call.
Yeah.
So someone online had the 59 Miller Meteor body or the shell for sale, and I designed everything underneath that, including the interior and all the lights, the
Nice.
roof rack, everything else. I may have to resize it a little bit, but it's a pretty neat model, and I've worked. I actually last year had one design that was all prepared, with hollow light fixtures and all that, so I could mount LEDs in it. And I got as far as designing a circuit for it that looked pretty slick, but I never got it all put together.
Nice.
So
That's very cool.
that'll happen someday.
Sam
Good old
Dennehy.
Sam Dennehy.
Sam Dennehy
Yeah.
does quite a bit with
Well,
those.
Shout out
too.
to
that was
Sam.
Yeah,
was
we
that
miss
was
you. You need to come back to St. Louis.
that was really an inspiration. I wanted to see what I could
Yeah.
just do
yeah,
on my
that's
own.
very, very
Yeah.
cool. Very
That's
cool.
really cool.
And I also want to point out, if I may, this RSD-15 here, another Broadway Limited product, a very popular one that they produced for a number of times in HO scale.
Yeah.
And now they've produced the model in N scale. And one of the few existing models of it is actually at the Illinois Railroad Museum.
Very cool.
Which I'm hoping to possibly visit on Sunday. So
Yeah, they're only open on weekdays.
they're
so.
on weekends.
Is that right?
Oh, weekends, yeah.
Only on weekends.
If you guys want to be able to print 3D things like this, check out G&L Robotics, USA.com website. Greg Summerland out there has got a lot of wonderful machines that he has been working with. He's working with schools. He's got so many projects in the works right now, including this handheld 3D printing pen that you can find on his website,
Wow.
which would lend itself well to some experimentation to see what you could do with that. But all of these things that James Regier has been showing on the show for the past year and a half to 2 years now is from that resin printer that he had purchased from Greg. And he sent me a filament printer down here, which I seriously someday look forward to playing with. My son, every time he comes home from college, gets over there in the shop and starts working with his 3D
Yeah.
printer. I'm like, how do you know how to use that? He's like, Dad, we use them in school. It's like, Dad, where you been? Okay, I'm right here. So yeah, rock and roll. I still would like the gentleman that printed out our figures to send you the file, because
Yeah.
I would like to, Holly would like to have at least a 6-inch tall person of me on her desk.
Bernard Helen.
Bernard
Yeah,
Helen,
Bernard
right?
Helen, mini
And we,
prints.
we promise we won't sell those. That's the requirement. Is if we get the file, we're not allowed to sell them.
Right.
That's up to him to
Yeah.
sell. But it's
right.
amazing. There's the
And
sky's
by the way,
limit.
if you should get yourself scanned, that's part of the package. You can check the box that says you want a copy of the 3D file, and he'll send that to you. As long as you don't go selling it to someone else. That's,
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody to please come and visit with us in Chicago next Saturday. We will be there from 3:30 until midnight at Lombard Hobbies.
Yeah.
They are going to be having sales. There will be bargains up to 80% off on some products. I mean, that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
This should be fun.
I know.
I'm looking forward to I bet it's going to be cold.
Wait, should I rent a trailer to bring all the stuff back? I don't know if there's enough room in our cars.
Yeah.
I just want to shake people's hands and meet them and find out what their thoughts are.
Yeah.
See some neat layouts.
I can't wait.
Hang out with Holly for a couple of days. That'll be
Yay.
fun. I mean, you guys, we're all going to be a family.
We got to go to Super Dog and get a Super
good food,
Dog.
right?
Yeah, Chicago dog, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
man.
All right. Well,
Good
hopefully we'll
food.
see all you guys in Chicago next weekend.
We're going to take the NCE Power Cab, which actually we were using to power up a video we made of a Broadway
Yeah.
Limited water tank where the spout
That's
goes
all
up
right.
and down.
I got my
That was
phone.
really
Hold
cool.
on.
And we are going to run some trains with the NCE power system because it works, simply works.
I
and that's what
I
like
just
about
saw for NCE advertising that they've come up with a new update to their power cab system.
Ooh,
With
that's
a lot of new goodies
exciting.
on it.
That's good to know.
Better compatibility
Yeah.
with USB and all those different things. So that's a neat. I didn't have it in me to remember exactly what this new one is branded, but that's what's coming out from NCE. They're continuing.
I'm ready to
develop.
run some trains. Let's do
I
this.
hope to have this show out by Sunday night, which is tomorrow evening. I'm going to hit the edit really hard. Got to get the November show out before we leave town. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. The show that we shoot after next weekend here back at home,
The Halloween show.
that's what he said. The Halloween show. So we got to get all dressed up or something.
Something.
He's going to dress up as a super chief.
Dribble a little blood.
Little
Say,
super chief.
oh, I choked on some glass on the way here.
All right, guys, with that said, best hobby in the world, some of the best people in it sitting right around me tonight. Let's go run some trains.
All right.
All right. Thumbnail.
Correct.
Thumbnail.
Correct.
White box. White box.
Oh, that.
White
Yeah,
box.
white box.
White box. Thumbnail. Thumbnail.
Oh, this thing would look so good weathered. This is a beautiful model.
All right, everybody smile.
Ready?
And
1,
wave.
2, 3. Wait a minute.
That didn't work.
That really blowed.
All right. Let camera run roll for 45
that was a great
seconds
show, guys.
while I kill sound.
Good job.
We are at 39 minutes. I really need to get that
That
November
seems
show
to
out.
be the problem when you blow on it directly. Like there's enough eddies just because it's an uneven airflow. Because
I think we had good sound tonight.
I hope so.
Of
If not, Scotty's going to tell us.
Scotty's going to come here and fire me.
I know.
there are going to be a million comments. At least it didn't blow over this time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you brought
This
some
earth-
sticky stuff along.
Yeah, this earthquake Joe is.
Did he just blow in his little fan?
He did. He just
Yeah.
his little thing.
I blew on the fan and it blew in circles.
It took 45 to 50 minutes
For what?
for us to get this show together tonight.
Oh, way longer than that.
You want to shoot B-roll of that stuff I brought?
I have to. Keeping camera one rolling right now. Just to make sure I'm covered for that part.